What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and welcome to rounds 5 and 6 of the College Football League draft. This is the initial draft to draft the teams, to set up the teams here in Season 1 of our league. If you don't know what the College Football League is, head over to SG1sports.com, click on the College Football League, and you can get all the information on this. We have our Patreon members controlling teams, and we still have some teams up for grabs, so if you want to play, you can join us on Patreon, and I think there are 4 or 5 teams still left that do not have owners. So here is the top 10. We're doing running backs, we are doing centers, we're doing cornerbacks and safeties in these 2 rounds. And you take a look at the running backs. Michigan State, Deion Jackson going number 1. They actually didn't rank their players, so they forfeited their pick, and Deion Jackson was actually one of the last picks of the round. The first actual pick went to Jonathan Taylor of Wisconsin. No surprise there. Puka Williams going to Mississippi State at number 3, a sophomore, guy you're going to have for a while. Travis Etienne, the speedster, to Auburn. DeAndre Swift to Florida. Alabama gets Reggie Corbin. Nebraska with Najee Harris. Michigan gets Eno Benjamin. Tennessee lands Kennedy Brooks. That's another speedster. And then Rodney Smith going to Florida State at number 10. So we had Michigan State, Alabama, and Florida State. Those 3 teams did not rank their players. So those 3 players are actually taken at the end of the round. So 11 through 20, USC, another team that did not rank their players. If you want to control USC, you will have a chance. And just join us on Patreon. They get Joshua Kelly. J.K. Dobbins going to Duke. Chuba Hubbard to Stanford. This is, to me, I think this is the best pick you could get, because he's probably going to be like a 98, 97 overall in year 2, and he's just a sophomore. I think that's a really good pick for Stanford. North Carolina lands Kennedy McCoy, another team that did not rank their players. Louisville with Cam Akers. Keyshawn Vaughn to Iowa. Jamar Jefferson to Purdue. Boise State gets Zamir White. This is a team that I've noticed really is building for the future. LSU, another sophomore there, Keontae Ingram. And Ohio State lands J.J. Taylor, a 93 overall. 21 through 30, Georgia with A.J. Dillon. Oklahoma gets Trey Mentor. Iowa State, Larry Roundtree. Penn State getting Scotty Phillips. Minnesota with Muhammad Ibrahim. Boston College with Trey Sermon. Arizona State gets Zach Moss. Baylor gets Cade Carney. Ole Miss, how about this? You get the running back from your rival, Kylan Hill. And then Oregon lands an actual Oregon player in C.J. Verdell. So those are the running backs. Some interesting picks there. Again, I like Puka Williams as a sophomore, and Chuba Hubbard also. I think both of those guys have a chance to be rated really high in their second year. But you can't go wrong with any of these running backs. A lot of great running backs in this year's draft. So I think everyone will be fine there. You go to the centers now. Tyler Biadasz going to Oregon. And again, I can't pronounce half of these names when it's these offensive linemen and defensive linemen too, so I apologize. But Ole Miss gets Creed Humphrey. That would be my pick there. Just a sophomore. He's already a 92 overall. I think that's an excellent pick. Baylor with Nick Harris, a senior. Arizona State, Keegan Kreider. Boston College gets Zach Shackelford. Minnesota with Drake Jackson. Penn State, Jimmy Morrissey. Iowa State, Josh Sills. Oklahoma, Sean Pollard. And Georgia lands Cesar Ruiz. And again, these are centers, and it's a couple of sophomores there, Humphrey and Kreider. Those 2 guys have a chance, I think, to really be good in the future as well. Moving on to 11 through 20, Jake Hansen to Ohio State. LSU gets Colin Newell. Boise State with Clay Webb. How about a freshman that's an 81 overall? Purdue, Cole Gabriel, a senior. Iowa, Adam Holtorf. Louisville, Tim Linnett. I don't know, again, on half these names. North Carolina with Dustin Woodard. Stanford, Lloyd Cushenberry. Duke gets Tristan Castillo. And USC with Frederick Mayagoa, maybe? I don't know. USC was another team that did not rank their player. North Carolina. These are the teams up for grabs. North Carolina, USC, Alabama. And there was, I think, one more. Forgot who it was now. But we go now, Florida State. Florida State's another team that's up for grabs. They get an 86 overall senior. Tennessee with Darrell Williams. Michigan gets Kenny Cooper. Nebraska going with Cameron Jurgens. Only a 77 overall, but he's just a freshman. I'm not too sure about that pick. Alabama gets Levi Brown. Florida, Jordan Johnson. Auburn, Connor Olson. Mississippi State, Donnell Stanley. Wisconsin, Michael Matee, and Michigan State gets Nathan Eldred. So those are the centers. Let's move on now to defense, and we start with, or we're going to do the secondary, cornerbacks and safeties, and there'll be another round. I think it's actually on tomorrow's video where these teams will get their number 2 corner and number 2 safety, but we're just going to get the first one here today in round 6. Duke with the first pick here at cornerback. Paulson Adebo, a 95 overall sophomore, very good pick there. Michigan State gets DeMarcus Acey. Georgia with Derek Stingley, that would have been my first pick. He's just a freshman, and he's probably going to be 95 plus in year 2. So I think that's a very good pick there. Oklahoma gets Bryce Hall. USC gets DiCaprio Boodle, and again, that's a team that did not rank their players, so he was actually at the end of this round. Louisville with AJ Terrell. LSU gets CJ Henderson, maybe the best cornerback right now. I don't know. Bryce Hall is actually rated higher. Iowa State gets Patrick Surtain, just a sophomore. Mississippi State with Cameron Dantzler. And then another really highly rated freshman, Isaac Taylor Stewart, going to Auburn, an 84 overall. He actually has a better rating than Stingley on the game. I don't think that'll be the case in year 2, though, but still, that's a very nice pick for the Tigers at number 10. Nebraska gets Christian Fulton, a 95 overall. Wisconsin with Jalen Johnson. Thomas Graham going to Michigan. Lavert Hill to Minnesota. Trajan Bandy, a junior, going to Oregon. Penn State gets Trayvon Diggs. Stanford with Jeff Gladney. Florida State gets Miles Bryant. Iowa with A.J. Green. And Ole Miss gets Isang Basie, 92 overall senior. So all juniors and seniors from these 10 teams. Again, nothing really jumps out to me. Getting Christian Fulton, a 95 overall at number 11, yeah, that's a pretty good pick right there. So I'd say that's probably the best pick out of those 10. Moving on now to 21 through 30. Alabama gets Neville Clark. Ohio State, Josiah Scott. Boston College gets Trey Brown. North Carolina, Amik Robertson. Sheridan Jones, a freshman, 82 overall, going to Boise State. Some very talented freshmen in this year at cornerback. Bryce Thompson, just a sophomore, 88 overall, going to Tennessee. Cameron Bynum to Purdue. Don't even want to try to say that name, going to Baylor at an 88 overall. Jeffrey Okuda, a 90 overall, to Florida. And J.C. Horn to Arizona State. Yeah, I really like the Sheridan Jones pick there. Also, the Bryce Thompson pick for Tennessee. Just a sophomore, but already an 88. You look at building for the future. I think those two teams did an excellent job there. Let's move on to the safeties now. Arizona State with Andre Cisco, a 97 overall sophomore. Wow, a chance to have a 99 overall maybe for a couple of years. Who knows? Florida gets Grant Delpit, 98 overall, the best safety in the game. Baylor gets Isaiah Thomas, a 98 overall junior. Purdue with Caden Stearns, a 92 overall sophomore. Excellent pick there as well. Tennessee with Adrian Fry, an 89 overall sophomore. Damani Richardson, an 85 overall freshman, going to Boise State. Boise State continues to get some really good picks. David Dowell to North Carolina. Gilman going to Boston College. Richie Grant to Ohio State. And Brandon Jones to Alabama, an 89 overall senior. Let's move on now to the next set of safeties. Ole Miss gets Jordan Fuller. Xavier McKinney going to Iowa, a 94 overall junior at number 12. That's a pretty good pick. Khaleke Hudson to Florida State. J.R. Reed to Stanford. How about a 94 overall there, dropping all the way to number 14. That's a good pick. Penn State gets DeMar Hamlin. Oregon with Javon Holland. Antoine Winfield, an 87 overall, going to Minnesota. Michigan gets Nigel Warrior. Greg Eisworth going to Wisconsin. And Josh Metellus, a senior, 91 overall, going to Nebraska. So we have 10 more spots here to close out round 6. Let's see how it goes for these final 10 teams. And let's go now. Auburn gets Daxton Hill. Wow, that's a really nice pick. 81 overall freshman. A chance to be a superstar there. Mississippi State with Geno Stone. Iowa State gets David Morris. LSU, Ashari Croswell. Louisville with Julian Blackman. USC gets Guidry. Oklahoma, Antoine Brooks. Georgia, Daniel Thomas. Michigan State, James Wiggins. And Duke lands Tanner Muse, a senior. So those are the picks for rounds 5 and 6. Give me your thoughts down in the comments below. Which team did you really like their picks? Maybe a team you didn't like their picks. Again, we are going to continue to build these teams. I will show you the teams once the rosters are full. We'll start playing games in early to mid-December, and the games will be here on this channel. So if you're playing, you already know all this stuff, but if you're just watching this video, again, you can get more information at sg1sports.com. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Again, rounds 7 and 8 coming up tomorrow, so watch for that. Again, thanks for watching this video, and stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.